All right, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. Episode 80. A lot of episodes that I've been doing. I mean, I haven't done them lately, but episode 80. Today, my guest is Blake, but just go ahead and introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, things like that, my bro.
What's up? I'm Blake. I do music. I sing, produce, write, um, play some instruments here and there. But yeah, I want to be an artist, and yeah, I'm just building the community, kind of gathering friends together and stuff, finding other artists, and trying to make like a little tribe and stuff so we can all grow. But
Yeah, that's
yeah,
dope. I mean, I met you through Eli, obviously, but like we were just talking.
tribes, you
Yeah,
know.
exactly. But like you were just saying, it'd be good to talk about this on the podcast. We just started real quick, but you were talking about how what you've been up to lately. So just get back into that. Talk about the single you dropped, things you're working on. I mean, you just said you're trying to build a community up and everything, but go ahead and just like introduce what you're doing at the current moment right now, what you've been doing, things like that.
Well, yeah. So I mean, yeah, I've been recently working on like EDM stuff. I've been getting into this different alias, Wisner official, for like dubstep and other things like that. You heard OTW though, which is like I feel like it's more poppy, kind of like like Daniel Caesar, like kind of Mac Millery, like
Mm,
Anderson .Paak vibe in that like vein. But yeah, I like got this connect for some EDM music and stuff, and I've been working on that stuff. And so I build these top lines, and basically it's just like an acapella vocal, and then you like send that out to DJs, and then they like build the track around it. And so I've been doing a lot of that lately. But yeah, you know me through Elijah, he brought a bunch of people and friends in the community to me for like just different things and like singing and like he's always, I feel like he's always like networking. He's like always
mhm.
meeting people and just like bring them through to me. So yeah, man, it's hard becoming a musician and like figuring out what to do and like how to like level up and stuff. But it's mainly you got to surround yourself with other people that inspire you and other people that are kind of doing the same thing. And so I feel like it's really important for the community to like come together and people to learn from each other, you know.
Mhm. No, yeah, for
Um,
sure. It seems as though like it's really hard to be successful in it too. So like if you find that area where like you're succeeding at and where you can get better at, why not bring other people along with you? Because it's like it's so hard. It's almost like anything that you have to be creative with. Like comedies like this, acting I guess would be like this, influencing almost in some sense. It's like if you're succeeding at one thing and you have a bunch of people around you who you respect and they have their own creativity to bring to the craft, it's like why not bring a lot of people along with you? Why be stubborn with like the growth you're independent with? Like might as well bring other people, let them grow with you. I feel like it makes the experience more personal almost.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you said you're working on like EDM dubstep stuff right now. Um, I mean, before we started, or maybe you said this when we first started, you said producing, obviously making music. Did you start with producing or did you start with making music?
So I started playing piano when I was 3, actually, and that's when it all kind of began. And I've just been playing music my whole life. And I would like write like joke songs like when I was younger, and I just would like write. They'd just be super stupid, and like I don't even like they were just really bad. And like I try to like make songs and stuff. Didn't really work. And then as I got into like high school and stuff, I started writing poetry
Mm.
for like there was this assignment or something that I wrote this poem for, and I was like, oh, I like this shit. And so like I liked like combining words and like using like metaphors and like rhyming on the last word and like having it like telling a story through like poetry. And so I started really vibing with that. And then I was like, well, why don't I just like push them together and like write some music? And then I got serious about it and started writing a bunch of songs. um and then eventually, yeah, I was like, well, I needed someone to produce these. And so at the time I was like, I'm gonna get the best of the best. Like I'm gonna look up these people in LA, and like they were like, oh yeah, 2 grand in a song. And I'm like, all right, maybe I should learn how to do this shit myself, because I'm not down to pay that. And so yeah, then I started learning how to do it myself and kind of made like a little business out of it. But yeah, and also like a network of friends and people and a community that it just kind of slowly started building once I put myself out there as a producer. And
Mhm.
so it's been like super good for me as an artist to grow by expanding my network that way. So
Yeah, I mean, it seems as though like, especially with producing too, it's like it's so not that it's so difficult, but it's like everybody wants to make music, but very few people like get into the track where they can actually create the art form, which you call like a song. Like talk about if we're talking about this pop culture music, like talking about making the beat, talking about making the bass boom, talking about like the 808s, you know, adding that to it. Even playing an instrument is it's very nichey. A lot of people just want like, oh, I want to sing, put auto tune on my voice, rap, you know, make a song. I can write the lyrics, and some people don't even write the lyrics. Like I learned that like a lot of what Justin Bieber does is not even write his own lyrics. They just use him for his voice because he has one of the best voices in the world. And so it's like if you have the ability to produce and to produce well, I would imagine that that's the way to network the best. You know, it's like not only can I make my own music, but I can make music for other people, and then they can share my music and we can grow like that. You know what I mean? So I feel like producing probably is just almost just as important as being creative with the music you're making.
yeah, for sure. Well, I want to go back to you said how like Justin Bieber like doesn't write all of his own music and stuff. And well yeah, and so also actually building off like being producer, like also being a songwriter cuz like Justin Bieber does have other people on the songwriting teams. So it's like it's cool to have that facet if you wanted to be able to like if you got thrown in a room and you had to like help co-write with Justin Bieber. But I feel like when I first started writing, I was like oh, I'm always gonna write every single thing that I do myself, and like that's where like everything like I take pride in my writing, and so I'm never gonna let because I would see the same thing. I would see like Justin Bieber, and then 12 other fucking people. Can I swear on this?
Yeah, yeah, dude,
is
say
it
whatever you
okay?
want. It's open, yes.
All right, shit. Okay, shit. Okay, so um yeah, I would see like this whole list of credits underneath like Justin Bieber's songs or whoever's huge songs or Drake. Drake has like 20 writers sometimes. But um the thing is like writing could be just like, oh, you just like say like a word and then they use that word and you said it, then you get to be on the credits. So it's like it could be that incremental. Production too. If I was like, yo, throw a snap right there and they put the snap in, they'd have to like technically put me down as a producer. I mean, like I probably unless it was like a huge record, like I probably wouldn't be like, yo, put me on the production credits for a snap or like, you know, it's like you kind of want to take pride in it, but um no, so it's like I was always on that same side of like these people don't even write their own music and they just have other people write it for them and stuff. But also, and then I've come to notice this by working with other people, is that the more people that are part of the project, if you're like writing with like four other people in the room and stuff, the writing becomes like so much better because it's four people it has to go through to like pass the like you like this. And if four people in a room like the certain lyric, it's gonna be pretty good. Like, you know, if it like goes through like four shit tests, like just like through people's ears, and then if one of them is like, nah, let's not do it, like I don't like that, then you go into like you try to do another line. But so imagine that with like 20 people, you know? And then also you see these hits and they're hits for a reason. So it's like I feel like it's not necessary, but the collaborative effort like definitely can like pack a punch and like make a song worthy of like a billion streams type shit, you know?
Well, I feel like a lot of time too, like with these like young people who, um, they display a lot of talent. Let's talk about like Olivia Rodrigo or the kid who dropped. Honestly, I can't even think of the song. Just you have a beautiful voice, right? And you have the ability to, um, like blow up on TikTok, things like that. That's like something like I feel like, what is it called? Like agencies and what is it called when you sign labels. That's something that they salivate over, because if you can get one of those people under a contract, you basically own them. And it's like a lot of these labels I've heard that have like all these like hit songs that their teams have wrote, and they're just waiting for the right person to give it to. Like, I mean, like, just an example, this isn't really a label doing it, but like Ed Sheeran talks about Love Yourself by Justin Bieber and how he actually wrote it for Rihanna, and at first he was like, fuck yourself, you know. That's how he wrote it. But then he got with Justin Bieber and he's like, oh no, this is for you. And then he changed it to Love Yourself. And you look at it, it's like, I couldn't imagine that song and sung by anybody else besides Justin Bieber. Or like one of his last songs on his album, Ghost, was written by John Bellion. And you can even hear it in it, that it's, if you listen to John Bellion, you can even hear that it's a John Bellion type song. And you're like, you hear these songs, but you're like, but I don't want anybody else singing the song besides them. So I feel like a lot of the time these labels and these people write these songs and like, it doesn't fit with me, but it might fit with somebody else. But you're right, it has been wrote like by 20 people, 40 people, teams who create these massive hits.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's crazy. I didn't know that. That about the love yourself and fuck yourself.
Yeah, I can't remember where I saw it. I think it was like on some quick video on TikTok or Instagram, but he was like talking about, because Ed Sheeran, people don't really know this, but Ed Sheeran writes a lot of the hits you hear. Like, I think he writes for Taylor Swift. He writes for a lot of people. Ed Sheeran's got a lot of talent, and he also plays a lot of instruments. It's crazy because I feel like we attribute that. I think what happened with Drake too, when they figured out that Drake didn't write his own songs, because I feel like a lot of people attribute, like, okay, if you don't write a ballad, right, that makes sense. You know, a ballad is a lot more goes into it. There's a lot of the time there's different instruments like organs and things behind it, and there's choir almost behind it. So if you don't want a ballad, it's like, okay, it makes sense. But then when you go to rap, it's like people feel like people should have the ability to freestyle and write rap in such a certain way. So when someone like Drake didn't write their music, that whole feud between him and Meek Mill, I feel like it hit harder because I feel like rap is so distinctive that people are understanding now that there's a lot of pop qualities to it. But before, I feel like it's almost like people thought that rap was so, in hip hop in particular, were so different, that it was so individual, that when people found out, like people like Drake and even Migos and things like have teams, they were like, whoa, this is supposed to be something that individuals do when they sit down and they listen to a hard beat and they rap, you know?
Yeah, I feel that. So do you think he could even like freestyle? You think Drake?
I think he can, but because Drake is Drake, bro, he has to
doesn't
stay
need to.
current. Yeah.
He doesn't need to though. He doesn't even care to. Like
Yeah.
he's like a huge figurehead that like already has his like place in the music industry, and he's like, yeah, he's a machine like at this
Exactly.
point, you know? So it's like he doesn't need to show any more like, oh, I can do this. Like he's done a lot
Yeah.
already.
Exactly. But then you see people like Juice World before he passed away having the ability to freestyle just massive hits, right? And
Yeah,
people watch him and they would see like, holy, like even Young Thug said he's the best freestyle he ever seen. And you see this and you're like, so people do have it. I feel like there are people who have the ability to just transform the game. But a lot of the people, I feel like once they get to the top, it's like you got to stay current. You need a team because you want to stay current.
yeah, for sure. So how much I'm just curious because you were saying stuff about like auto tune and everything. How much stuff about like production are you knowledgeable of in like music?
I mean, a decent amount. Like I make some of my own music just for fun. Like I
Oh, you
rarely,
do?
yeah, I do. I
You
do.
produce?
I mean, I wouldn't say I like produce. I would say that like I find a beat that I like, usually a free for profit beat, and then I record on my own stuff, and then I edit based on that. Like I'll edit a little bit through Logic and things like that. Like I'll edit how my voice works. I'll edit like how the beat sounds particular to a certain aspect. I might add like a little things extra to the beat, but I don't produce. I've never made my own beat. I'm not that good, but I do it for fun. Like I started making music when I was in 11th grade, I think, with my friend who's actually like an artist now. And then I just kind of kept doing it. You know, it was fun to me, but it's nothing that I ever like really dove into. So I know a little bit, but I'm not like severely knowledgeable on like producing.
Nice, but that's cool that you like at least know like some foundation.
Yeah, it's like, well, I mean, you could talk about producing a little bit. That what are some unconventional things about producing that people don't really know, you know?
Unconventional. Like tricks or like I feel like I have like a lot of tips I could give.
Yeah,
I
just
have
give some tips, dude. Yeah.
well, shit. I feel like sometimes overthinking is like a real thing, and you just have to like put whatever comes to your mind first and put it on the page. Like
Mm.
it's just like I'll be humming something, like I'll make like a little melody, and then I'll go to the bathroom, and like I'll be humming something on the way to the bathroom, and I'm like not thinking about it, but I'm humming it. You got to like stop yourself in that moment and be like, nope, like I got to like record that, like voice memo it or something, go back, put it on an instrument, do something. Cause it's always that like that first breath of like whatever comes to your head, that's usually the hottest shit. So it's like you have to like make sure you catch that, because and yeah, you could like loop something for a really long time and then like strategically come up with something like unique, I guess. But from my experience, it's just like the first thing that pops to your mind is going to be the hottest always.
Why do you think that is? No, but like, why do you think that is? Because I feel like that's with a lot of the things, with a lot of things, that's how it is. Like, you could even like make the analogy like within sports, like the best move you're ever gonna make, whether it be basketball, football, or anything, best throw you're ever gonna make is always the one that's like improvised, or the one that you don't really like, the one that just comes to your head right in the moment. Why do you think
Yeah.
that is? Like, why do you think the first thing, like even like people always say, like even when you're taking a test, trust your gut. Why do you think that is? Like, you think that's just something that because you could
Well,
take it a multitude of ways, like religion, you could take it like spirituality. Why do you think that is?
bro, I think low key, I think humans like as a species like are we're like very like intellectual beings, like we're super like we I feel like we don't know as much as we like as much about ourselves as there is to know, like I feel like that gut feeling or whatever is just like your body's like internal clock working, or your internal like something working to like tell you like that's supposed to be it. And so it's like we kind of already know it without knowing it. It's weird, but I
Yeah.
feel like yeah.
It's almost like I feel like so there's a theory in philosophy called determinism, and it's basically like the way you can attribute it to is like God's plan or like the universe's plan. Like everyone has a set plan, cause and effect. Everything has a cause and an effect. And I feel like if you like really stop in a moment, like whether you're creating a song, whether I'm, playing football or going to school or even doing this podcast, and if you really stop and like live in the moment when you're like the most blissful or the most like in tune with what you're doing, you feel like you're in the right spot. You feel like you're in the right place at the right time. And in the adverse or on the controversial from that, like you can feel like you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, and you're not doing, maybe like a song's not clicking. And I feel like that intrinsic, like you said, like humans, like the intelligent beings, when we know, like when we're at the right place at the right time doing the right thing, I feel like when everything clicks, you can just say everything clicks. I feel like that's like determinism or like God's plan working for everybody. Like, so I feel like that is like where you're right where you need to be and you need to be doing, because like we don't know why we're like interested in things. Like, why are you interested in music and producing things? Why am I interested in kicking football as far? It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
But
I
humans
mean,
are so fascinating that like we all have our own things that we're good at, and they're so diverse.
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess you could say like I've noticed a lot of people that write music are like, some of them they experience a lot of pain and trauma, and so like that's like an outlet for them, and so it's easy, and that's when some of the best songs are made, is when somebody goes through something painful and you can connect to like a wide audience of people that are also going through pain. Because I mean, well, also, and it's like you see all these sad songs, I mean happy songs blow up, but all these sad songs blow up, or like these like low frequency energy songs blow up. I feel like because everybody is so low frequency, like a lot of people are just depressed, and like they really latch onto those depressing ideas and thoughts. And so like yeah, it's like easy to connect people when they're vibrating low. But yeah, I mean at the same time you can also have a hit that's like high frequency and like super happy and like uplifting, and but yeah, I
There's
don't
no
know.
medium. There's no medium songs. There's no songs like I'm having an all right day, because like you can't make
Yeah,
music like that.
right, shit.
I do
um
honestly. I want to stop you real quick because I do resonate with what you said right there, and I think we can talk about that for a second, because I think it's something that social media actually adds to. You said that most people or a lot of people are depressed, and I think we could see that. I feel like a lot of people, especially when they start off, like, all right, let's just talk about this right now. I have a decent amount of viewers on this podcast. I'm nowhere near popular or blown up, you know? But
Yeah.
I get my like engagement from just doing it. It's fun to do. I like talking
Yeah.
to people and listening to people. But I feel like a lot of people, especially like music or trying to blow up on TikTok or Instagram or something, I feel like when they start, it's because the local level is always going to hate more. When you start something, people are going to hate because they're not starting shit because they're losers, you know? And the local level is always going to hate more. And you're not going to blow up for a long time, for a really long time. It's going to take a long time. And I feel like a lot of people either are going to hate, and so they're depressed because they want to do something but they don't have the balls or courage to do it, and then a lot of people are depressed because they are trying something and it's not working. And I think what you got to say to that is, don't compare yourself to other people. You can't do that. You got to be your own. And then, because here's the thing, you're not going to blow up if you keep comparing yourself and trying to be other people, and you're not going to blow up if you keep hating on other people. You got to embrace who you are, bring that into light, and then, because I feel like what people don't understand in today's time is that not only do you not have to compare yourself, but everyone has a light that they bring to this earth, and you can be positive. Like, yes, there's a bunch of negative and assholes in this life, but there's also a bunch of people that you can meet that are fucking awesome, and you could be one of those people who is awesome. And I bet you $100, I bet you agree that if you're awesome, people are going to want to follow you more than someone who's an asshole. You know what I mean? I'm sure you found this when you've been like starting your music career. Like, you weren't just popular or getting popular, or even people listening to you from the get-go, right?
Well, okay, so you said a bunch of things I wanted to jump in there. But
You can
shit.
just cut me off. I talk a lot. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, you're good. But shit. Back to what did you just finish with? Shit.
Um, Positive. What I finished with is saying that you didn't just blow up to start, or you didn't just have people listening to you to start when you started making music.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, so everybody starts from like ground zero, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so everybody starts with no fans whatsoever. And yeah, this idea that you can like post something and blow up the next day. I mean, it's possible
It
and
is
it's
possible.
happened. And like if you're fucking clever, like but that's like winning the lottery almost. And so it's like but yeah, these things, a local level, you were talking about the local scene. I can go into that for a second because I feel like um so many people are so focused on like blowing up in the local scene. So many people are like trying to like run around town and like Vegas, even in Vegas, I see it like so many people are trying to get gigs and gigs and gigs. And it's like, bro, who's coming to these? Like, are you going to build a like obviously it's just going to be as many people as you can bring in from your friends. And then maybe how popular you were in high school or in college or how many people, you know what I'm saying? So it's
I do,
like
yeah.
that local level, I really don't think you can build a fan base like a thriving fan base off a local level anymore. I think it used to be you kind of had to get big in the local scene and then build your way up and then go like on mini tours and stuff. But bro, with the digital age, it's like I could post a reel and like I've gotten maybe like 5,000 views on a reel. So it's like if I had 5,000 people viewing my reel, whereas if I try to get a show and like book as many people as I can, I probably like say maybe like 50 people came. So 50 people are viewing my performance as opposed to just going on the internet and posting something and fucking 5,000 people can see. So it's like put your time and energy where the eyes are. And so it's like I feel like people sleep on that. Still, a lot of people have woken up to it, but people still they're like, I don't want to do TikTok, and even me, I need to do more TikToks, but
Same.
like Instagram posts and stuff like that. I mean, posts are still kind of dying. Maybe Reels and Instagram Reels and TikToks are like probably the highest you could do for a musician right now for getting quick exposure. But yeah, man, like you just gotta you gotta do the groundwork first. It's like you gotta have the product, you have to get the good song, and then that's only the smallest portion. It's having a good song, because you could have the trashiest song and then have this next section lined up, and then your trash song is gonna blow the fuck up because you knew exactly what to do over here, while these people spent years and years of their life perfecting this. And I'm not saying it's not wrong. Like music is a journey, and you're supposed
Mm-hmm.
to, it's supposed to be an outlet. So it's like if you want to perfect your shit like so fucking good that you're the next Beethoven meets fucking like know, fucking marshmallow type dude. Like, I don't know, like whatever fusion you want to be the perfect, like, and get everything perfect. That's cool. But it's like the marketing, like you're putting your money into the marketing, getting the video, doing the crazy viral thing or whatever. And like, it's all this other stuff that nobody focuses on to blow up. That's actually what blows you up and stuff. And so, yeah, I take pride. I've been playing music for a while and stuff. And so it's like, I know a good song when I hear one. So I waited like 5 years to drop my first single because that was my preference. And I was like, I didn't want to put a song out that wasn't like there. You know what I'm saying? But maybe that was stupid. Maybe it wasn't because I like learned a bunch of shit. So it's like there's no secret formula. But I do know that people that have just started music and that are just dropping shit and are confident and consistent can blow up decently quick because they're confident in their shit. They sound confident. Even if their mixes and like their songs don't sound amazing, it's like if they keep shoving them in your face and keep fucking like running this train, it's gonna get bigger. So yeah, man, the journey from A to B is there's no set order of steps to get there for music and stuff and being
Yeah.
successful.
Well, I think too, like, like with something you said, you talked about how like you could drop a shit song and like maybe that shit song is like maybe you dropped it because of the climate. Like maybe you wanted it just to be a TikTok song. Like I'll give you an example. This was before TikTok, but like look at how influential X was as an artist, right? But his first song that really blew up was Look at Me. He was not just a Look at Me artist. Like you listen to Look at Me and then you listen to Changes and you're like, these are so far off. Like this is not even the same guy, but he knew what to do. He played the game like an algorithm when he could have just in today's time just been like, I'm gonna drop a perfect TikTok song and then I'm gonna get into my artistic shit. But also something you said about like when we're talking about the local level, right? I think like I understand what you're saying because I feel like people want to that local level. And I think maybe this is just a Vegas thing, but you could also see it with places, a lot of other places where there hasn't been massive people to come out in sports, in music. There hasn't been a lot of people for how big of a city Las Vegas is really. Like it's not like huge like 40 million like California, but like or LA, but it's like it's a pretty decent sized city and like it's specifically known as like Las Vegas, but there hasn't been a lot of people to come out of here to be like the greatest athletes, to be like the greatest musicians. So I feel like a lot of people want to put on for Las Vegas. I think that's like their like whole motive is like, I want to put on for Vegas because nobody else really has, or the way that I want to do it. Like we know everybody knows Dizzy Wright, but it's like, there's other people. I mean, Baby Keem, I think is from Vegas too.
Oh yeah.
But it's like very few people, and like same thing like baseball players. I know some baseball players who are from Vegas, like Bryce Harper, right? But there's very few people who really put on for Vegas. So I feel like the local level, the reason people want to do it so bad is because they want to put on. And you could probably see this in like other places, like cities in Texas or cities in Florida, where like people have been like not put on so far, like big cities, but like a lot of people haven't come out. I feel like that's a lot about the local scene and why people want to be like, oh, I want to do local shows because I want to put on for Vegas.
Well, you can still rep Vegas and you can still rep your hometown, but not have to put every ounce of your blood and sweat and tears into becoming a only Vegas artist, because you're cutting yourself off from all these other eyes and all these other viewers and potential fans by just putting all your time into one city. And so even Russ blew up, and he had he's an anomaly because he was able to produce, write, mix, master, video, fucking record his own shit, edit his videos, promote them. He did everything. And he did that he put a song out every 2 weeks or whatever, blew up. But he said, fuck a hometown hero. He was like, honestly, fuck a hometown hero. I got popping on the internet. There's millions and millions, billions of people on the internet. And there's only so many that are accessible within like your hometown. So yeah, I get it. Like,
yeah.
The live factor of like being there in person and seeing them is nice, but it's like, bro, if you can pretty much see people like on your phone doing exactly the same thing that they would be doing in person. So
Yeah, the digital age, like we said, has really changed everything, right? But also, I feel like to go back to something I said earlier, I feel like the most of your haters are gonna come from the local scene. Like
For
it's
sure.
like you probably have
So why stay in the local scene if most of your
exactly,
haters
yeah,
are gonna be there? It's like fuck that. I don't want to fucking put all my time into these people that hate me. Like
yeah.
you know,
It really is crazy though. Like a lot of the time too, like what I've noticed, right? What I've really noticed is you don't realize, like people always say, the more haters you have, the bigger you are, right? And that's
very true.
facts.
Fact.
But when you're like starting to grow, you're definitely gonna have more haters because people are gonna talk mad shit. But you're gonna have these people once you start receiving, like what I've noticed is because like I grind at whatever the fuck I do. I really try my fucking best. Like that's something I pride myself in, regardless of if I am the best or regardless if I'm ever gonna be the best at anything. I work my fucking ass off to be the best. And so like
Right.
this year I got second team all conference in football. That was
Nice.
dope. You know, worked my ass off for it. And like you'll never be able to show how hard you work, or like I work my ass off podcasting. I work my ass off uh to try in school to try to go to law school. Like I work my ass off in everything I do. And you're never really going to be able to see the fucking work that anybody puts in. But what you will see is as people start recognizing how hard you fucking work and how and like starting to improve and starting to get better and starting to have more people having eyes on you. You're gonna have people who you knew who would talk shit about you and who probably are talking shit about you coming up to you or DMing you, asking for like a handout. Let me get on your podcast, bro. Or for you, like, let me get on a song, bro. Or like, kind of be like, I love what you're doing, bro. This is so dope. But we really turn around and like talk mad shit. And it's like, all I can say to that is like that's just a natural part of life, bro. Most people don't got it in them. So when they see other people like really trying, they
They want
resent it.
to suck that energy. They're
Suck
like,
it out. Yeah.
bro, so fucking toxic. Yeah, or the same thing like when I'm going ham in the gym and I'm like posting me in like the gym every day and stuff. Then everyone's like, yo, like we need to hit the gym. And I'm like, fuck you. Like
Yeah.
I woke my ass out of bed this morning and I fucking got the gym and like I did that on my own. Like I don't want to have to rely on somebody else to wait on for their time. And if they're gonna, I do like going to the gym with people, but it's like now I have like 6 people trying to hit the gym with me, and I'm like, yo, like I can't bring 6 people to this fucking gym. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, bro, people definitely start taking notice and shit when the ball starts rolling for sure. Like my old roommate who lived here, he actually got signed to Marshmallow, and it was funny because he the hardest worker I've ever met, literally, hands down. Like that's what I learned, like work ethic from this motherfucker. And he would sit in his room and produce for 16 hours a day. This is right when COVID hit, so he had like he
Oh,
was
that
chilling
sucks.
like with unemployment and like he had some time to like before work started again to like just really focus music. And so he went in 16 hours a day, made loops, beats. He did everything he possibly could, like in his power, and like ran as many sessions. Like he was like studying like engineering, like mixing things. He was like trying different instruments out. Bro, I like this kid literally in like 7 months got signed by Marshmallow, and it was wild, and I witnessed it. And yeah, his back was like destroyed from sitting in a chair for 16 hours every single day. But um it's like, bro, then the second he blew up, all these people and he that would write him off in Vegas, and he said he was always trying to reach out to different producers, artists, and like roll through and like kick it and this and that. And they would always never like they'd be like, oh yeah, maybe, like, but the second he blew up, every single one of them motherfuckers came back, was like, yo, dude, like how's it going, man? Like you wanna like get, and he just like he was like, oh, you're the guy that whatever the fuck, like unfollow. Like, and he would just like went through like a whole list of people that he just like unfollowed, and he was like, nah, I don't need to see you in my life ever again. Like, so
Yeah.
I mean, bro, yeah, the haters will flip at some point, but yeah, you gotta have the haters, man.
You know what I've realized too? It's like how can you like how can you be content with living a normal life? Like I've realized that like I'm gonna work hard at whatever the fuck I want to do and get really, really, really into some one thing at least, you know, and just grind my ass off. But there's people here like who live on Earth who are just okay doing nothing with their lives, like just like
Well, I
partying
feel
and
like
shit.
well, I mean, partying and shit. I mean, the thing is like we were all given this opportunity to like experience like this place as we want. And so it's like
Yeah,
maybe people like me and you want to work our ass to the bone and like become something at this next level. Some other people are just like, yo, like I just want to have a family, settle down,
yeah,
like I love the simple things in life, and they just want to you know, like wife and kids, day job, like normal 9 to 5, come home. And so yeah, it's like maybe they just want that, but yeah, that wasn't me. I didn't ever like I had to I could I couldn't work another 9 to 5, bro. No, I run sessions. I like sell vocal things. I like try to get on like film scoring gigs or whatever. I'm like freelance hustling, and I fucking love it. And the thing is I will never ever go back to 9 to 5. But I kind of respect people that like, you know, like they just want to chill. Like, you know, maybe smoke some weed and just like have like, you know, cook some good dinner, like kiss kiss the kids goodnight, and you know, go to
yeah.
bed and wake up the next morning and repeat. But yeah, I mean, I wish people were more motivated, because I feel like we are a highly sophisticated species and we could do some crazy shit while we're here, you know? It's
Definitely.
like, why not everybody use our fucking brains to like the maximum that we can, and everyone be this crazy version of themselves? Um,
Could you imagine if like just like if everybody was motivated by one, love, and two, if everybody worked as hard and reached their potential? You know what I
Literally,
mean?
if
And
everybody worked from love, like that's honestly, the world would be like an amazing place. But everybody works not for love. Like
yeah,
people work for other factors, um, acceptance, or like
it's a big
they
one.
work, yeah, for sure, for acceptance. Yeah, like all these cloud chasers, bro. Like they don't fucking like some. Do you think they really want it, or they just want the clout? Like they just want to be able to be like somebody for no reason. It's like, what are you gonna do when you get there? Like, are you gonna help this world out more? Like when you get money, like, are you gonna like, what's the end game plan
Yeah.
for you? And so, um, yeah, man. But we all have like, you know, whatever the fuck we want to do, and some people are nice people, and other people are just assholes. So, but you also said earlier, you were saying like genuine people would blow up more than assholes, or something around that category, like way earlier. But I was like, bro, I was like, you could be an asshole and still blow up. The thing is work ethic. Like, if you're an asshole but you work hard, like you're gonna get places. Like it may be a little harder, but it's um, like sometimes people fucking, you don't know what people like. Like sometimes it's comedic people being assholes, or sometimes like like Kanye is huge, and he like took the mic away from Taylor Swift, and like that's like a really fucked up thing to do, but it's like he did it, and people still respect him, and people still like look up to him. And so yeah, bro. So I mean, of course he got to a certain place. He doing probably wasn't doing that shit. I mean, maybe he was before he blew up, like but you can't really do that at that scale unless you're blowing up like that. So I don't know. But yeah, I feel like if you're just hardworking, you can definitely take off and be successful. But a lot of these people don't want to put the work in, and yeah, they're scared to make that leap. So they'll be quick to judge you when you make that leap, and they will hate on you at the beginning, like you said, because you're not that good at it. But if you like over time, and then you start doing shit that's like good for it, people will like start to believe it. You know, um, yeah, just gotta believe in yourself and shit. But
One of the coolest things I think I've ever done, like what I realized is like, so like I feel like sometimes people, especially me, I'm gonna just talk about me for a second. It's like are really self-critical, and like you got to stop being so self-critical of yourself. But like me, it's hard for me to do that, you know, because I feel like I know my potential and I have such high standards for myself, right? And it's also like I know what I'm capable of, and so like like let's just say in football, like I got 2 Northwest Conference Player of the Weeks, and then I got all conference, and like all those achievements, like while they're cool for me, it's really all it is. All it does is like for all it's for it really. I feel like it's for other people more than it's for me. Like I'm like cool. Like I work my ass off anyways, and all it does is justify to them what I've already known about myself.
Yeah,
Only thing achievements really do is justify to other people that I deserve to be here. You know what I mean? And that's what I realized is like achievements aren't for the person who's getting them. The awards and shit are not for the people who are getting the awards. They're for other people to understand where that motherfucker was, you know? Because like
yeah,
if you really think about it, like a Grammy, it not
yeah,
only is it like you had the best song, right? It's like you worked the fucking hardest. Like you did this shit. Or like the same thing for like an Oscars. Like it's for like, it's to show that that person deserves something. It's for the other people. Like, yeah, you get to like be like, oh, I got this award, you know? But like
yeah.
3 seconds and then it's like back to fucking work. But everybody
Right.
else will know you as an Oscar winning, Grammy winning artist, right? And so that's
Yeah,
all I realized is like all really anything is in this life is if you're like you just put your fucking bones to the wall, balls to the wall, go for it, and you can be accepting of yourself. All the other shit will come, but it's only for other people, really.
for sure, man. Yeah, you definitely gotta like accept yourself. And then, but you also have to hold yourself like accountable. And I feel like for growing, you have to like, for like, you have to take a step back sometimes and then ask yourself, um, like, even if you were right in a situation, you have to, and you know you're right. Like, you have to ask yourself, what could I have done better in this situation for this not to happen if something bad does happen, you know? And I feel like it's holding that accountability on yourself, which is so important because if you play the blame game and you start blaming other people, then you're never gonna grow yourself, and you're never gonna figure out like maybe if I just take a step back, I can see what I did wrong. Even if it was on the smallest of scales, like it caused something and I could have done something different, you know? So I was just
Yeah, I
kind of
was
like
talking
hopping
to
off of, yeah.
yeah, no, I was talking to this political commentator my last podcast. I dropped it today, actually, but when this is out, people are gonna be like, today, just for me and you, I dropped it today. Um, it was he was basically saying that like the whole thing about like growing and getting better and things like that is that you're supposed to disagree and then realize that you're wrong. Like that's like the whole point. Is like most people go in thinking they're right and trying to prove other people wrong, but really you're supposed to go into it thinking you're wrong, and why are they right, right? Go in thinking they're right and I'm wrong, right? And
For sure.
learn something. But people don't do that anymore. People want to be right so much. People just, what I've realized is like
They want it so bad, bro.
they want to be just, they're just selfish. Like what social media and everything in this age has really shown people is how greedy people are. And it's all about them. Life. And here's the thing. I feel like a lot of people got to realize, and I realize this, like I realize this, and it's a hard realization to make, is like you're not the main character. You're not. You're just not the main
Yeah,
character. You're not even really a side. Most people are just like extras in the movie. Like if you even are lucky to be in the movie, you know what I mean? Like most people are extras at best, and people really think that the sun revolves around them. And it's just like what you got to realize is I can change the world if I choose to do so, but I have to come at it with an aspect of how do I change myself first.
for sure. Yeah, you definitely have to become the best version of yourself to uh, try to want to change other things. Because if you like start going out there and you start trying to change shit and you don't even know yourself and like know what you want and know what should be like like the help the world should like need and stuff, if you don't know any of that shit, then it's like um yeah, I kind of got off. Oh.
You're good, bro. Back to something we said earlier. We were talking about how people tend to like when you're getting into a genre, people tend to stop doing it when they're starting to fail, right? And what I've learned is that like failure is like if you're failing consistently but like learning from those failures, you're doing better than everybody in the world, because most people don't even fail because they don't even try, but also most people like quit when they fail. Like if you fail, you're like, fuck, dude, I should change this. And then you fail again, you're like, fuck, well, I should change this. And you just keep doing that. look back at like where you started, you know, because I feel like we can make this really big analogy. If you look at like fat loss or even beard growth, you look back, right? And not, or day to day, nothing really changes. But you look back and everything is different, right? If you're 300 pounds and all of a sudden you're 180 and you probably still see yourself as that. You're like, fuck, I still need to lose weight. But like if you look back at where you came from, you're like, holy shit, dude, I've really made some severe changes in my life. And so I feel like we like when we're talking about like that growth, it's like I feel like you have to understand, you have to give yourself credit for what you have done and keep attacking those failures.
For sure. Yeah, no, I mean, the thing is with failing is you learn something, and so you figure out what not to do. And so I feel like everybody knows what to do. Everybody, like, there's always like things of like, oh, you can do this, 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 and this. But what people don't tell you is, hey, don't do this, 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 and this. And that's where everything that you fail, that's where all those lessons come in. You're like, oh, I failed because I did this. Don't do that. And so it's like it kind of like ingrains that like sort of um thing for you moving on is like, okay, try everything except this. And then like you fail again, it's like, okay, do everything except this. And so then you build up, then soon when you're like up here, then you know exactly like the specific things, like, you know, and then you can skip all this bullshit that you've already gone through. And yeah, because you already know. And so it's like, yeah, if even if you get like, if you start off and you just like succeed and you keep like getting like these successions, you're still going to enter this realm over here eventually somehow. And so it's like I feel like it's super important to fail because you figure out whatever category of like say music is, like if you fail doing a certain thing in music, you're just not going to do it again, and it's going to make it better for the next time. And so that's also why I waited so long to drop my first single, because I wanted to see like from a marketing standpoint what the best thing was, because I had seen, okay, maybe make a whole music video. Okay, maybe do a TikTok dance, money giveaway thing. Okay, maybe like put a bunch of money into Instagram ads. Maybe put a bunch of money into Snapchat ads. Maybe playlist it. Maybe get it on a bunch of Spotify playlists. Maybe do a little bit of everything. And so it was like, I didn't know exactly the formula to start off with to be able to get like a decent growth with it, because I didn't want to just drop my song and then like it get like my friends and families to view it and then it just dies and then it goes to like 0 plays, maybe like a couple plays a day. Didn't want that to happen. So yeah, I was like searching for like a team that would help with the back end, and watching these artists that I was helping and produce do all this stuff and fail. And I was seeing all their failures, and I didn't have to fail, but I got to watch them fail. So it was like a little victory for me, because I was like, okay, don't do that. And so or it's like, oh, that videographer is like really trustworthy, like, and oh, this one will give me my videos back like a month later and the editing is not good, so maybe don't go back to them. And so, you know, it's just like it kind of like helped me figure out like a little team and like a game plan for like 5 years when I wasn't releasing music and I was just like perfecting, you know, my writing and my production and stuff. Also building up a game plan so that when I did drop it, I already had all those failures, so I just know like where to go from here, you know. But I definitely think it's important to fail,
Do
for
you
sure.
think that there's a point where you're failing too much though, and you have to give it up, whatever you're doing, regardless of what you're doing?
Now, I don't. I definitely think if you fail a bunch and enough times, like you're eventually gonna get good. Like if you keep going at it. Like I mean, at least for me, I don't know if there's a thing that if I like put my mind to it and like really try to learn it or really do it, no matter how tedious or whatever, like same wavelength that I like shit is on or whatever, if I just did it, I usually get it down, like whatever it is. So it's like, yeah, I think if you put enough time and effort into it, then anything is possible for sure. And so yeah, it doesn't matter how many times you fail. So I would never tell somebody to give up. I'd be like, if they were like doing music and it was just bad, like bad is also subjective, because
Yeah,
it's
that
like
is subjective.
you could be making something that you fucking love, and if like this person is like, I love this shit, just not blowing up. I'm like, well, if you fucking love it, then just keep doing it. Like, it doesn't matter like what, find out a way to get your bills paid and like just do it. And then maybe one day you'll be like, it'll catch on enough, that'll pay the bills. But it's like, if you love it, like, don't give up something you love. But if somebody was like trying to do something just to get good at it and like they didn't love it, I'd be like, you know, maybe take a step back and like reevaluate like what you want and what like you really love in life and stuff, and like then go back into it. But because you sometimes you can't force it, like, but if you have a love for it, then I would definitely encourage anybody that's pursuing something to keep going, for sure.
Well, also, if you have a love for it, I feel like you're gonna want to be good at it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like anything you love, you're not gonna be like content with being bad at it. Like, even like
Yeah,
skateboarding, if you're like really bad at skateboarding but you love it to death, you're gonna skateboard every chance you get. Like, people always say like they're not moving up in their jobs because they hate their jobs. If you loved doing paperwork, you'd be the best motherfucker at doing paperwork. You know what I mean? Like,
literally.
people don't realize that the reason they're not doing well at something is because they don't like it. You're not interested in it. People are like, oh,
Sure.
I'm like a horrible student. I'm an idiot. You're not an idiot. You hate school. Like, just try. Like,
Yeah,
wait till you get out. Like, you could be the best motherfucking plumber you've ever known. Like, you don't know. You might
right.
love something that's so unconventional to other people. Like, people forget, like, you don't just have to do something creative. Or not even to say that, you don't have to do something artistic. You can do things and bring your own creativity to it. You think chefs aren't creative? Come on, dude. You think that business owners aren't creative? You think that professors aren't creative? The reason they're creative is because they write new papers and they create new ideas. Everybody's
Oh yeah.
creative. You know,
Oh
there's a
yeah.
lot of intellectuals who like talk about like not everybody's creative. I think that's bullshit. I think everybody's creative. It's just whether or not they're in an outlet that respects them enough to let their creativity out. Because I feel like every single job you do, unless it's literally even like, bro, like I mean, like if you're like a trash man, like I'm sorry, like you probably can't be creative with that, but maybe you can. Maybe you're driving routes, you're making the driving routes, and then you're creating
Yeah.
new driving routes or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. Maybe there's a special way to like quickly get the trash can on the thing. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
don't know. Like, maybe there's like yeah, the routes.
Creativity is innovation, bro. Better
Maybe
ways
there's
of doing things
maybe
is
there's something you
creativity.
wear. There's something you can wear to like make the stench not smell as
Oh,
bad.
that's fucking dope. Yeah, I didn't even think about
You
that.
know, maybe you have some like style you can. I don't even know. I don't know. I feel like I definitely agree with you about the creativeness. I feel like there's like something creative everybody can kind of do in whatever facet they're dealing with. You know.
Yeah, no, definitely. And like not only that, like people people want to solve problems. Like people want things to do. People want shit to do. Like people just it's not like people like don't like are just like people are just born bored. Like people want shit to do. People play video games to solve a problem. What's the
Literally.
problem? Or to win. Like people don't just play like because there's no like point of it. Like you don't just do shit there's no point to do. Like you wouldn't shower because there's no point to do it. Like you do shit because you need to solve a problem.
Yeah.
Like and it's like if you're working at a job, like, because here's the problem really with it is like if you're working at a job that you hate, but you have a family to support, what are you gonna do? You can't quit your job to start chase your dreams when you have a family. Maybe
Yeah.
you can
Hell.
retire once they're older and then chase your dreams.
But what you should be doing is spending, instead of like that extra whatever long time you were doing scrolling on your Instagram or whatever, it's like maybe you should be building a plan for you to get yourself in a better situation to be doing something you love, or at least making more money.
Yeah,
And
sure.
so it's like, I feel like, yeah, like you said earlier, it's hard for me to imagine ever like being stagnant and just being like okay with that, because I could see myself as like honestly like the richest man in the world still wanting to get richer, like, or you know, it's like I mean not even that, or like working on myself. I could be like the most enlightened man in the world, but I want to like learn more and like become like deeper within myself, or
Yeah.
like I could be the best number one artist, but I'm still gonna want to like figure out how to like do this certain writing or some technique of like maybe screamo, or like get into like different whatever, like, and figure out the whole spectrum of it all. Like I feel like never a point where I will be done growing, you know, or want to stop growing, you know?
Yeah, that reminds me of a story, what you just said about like being the most enlightened man and then wanting to be more enlightened. So the story goes, it's at like the end of human civilization, right? And they're at the point where like they're going traveling through the universe, and they're like you can't die. They're immortal, right? And there's one man who did it all. He made people immortal. He made intergalactic travel possible, and he's the most curious man. And all he wants is to get to the edge of the universe to find out what's there, what's after the universe. And so he searches and he searches and he searches. And, human civilization, whoever's left is behind him, is like following him. And he finally gets to the end of civilization. And there's nothing there. There's absolutely nothing there. Right. And he comes back to the civilization, the last civilization. And they go, what was there? What was at the end of the civilization? And he goes, I couldn't find it, or it just keeps going, and it forces them, and he says, so we just got to keep exploring, and it forces them to keep going, because without curiosity, without getting better, without growth,
Uh,
without the if you get to the edge of knowledge, if you get to the edge of the universe, there's nowhere to go. If you knew
yeah,
everything, there's no reason to still exist. And so
yeah,
I think it goes along with what you're saying very well, because it's like humans want to get better. They need a way. We are imperfect because we need a way to get better. We have to be
yeah,
bad so we can grow to be good. We have to be horrible so we can be great,
right. No, yeah, like it'd be backwards. Like if you're just like a genius at something and you like pop out the womb and then you like suddenly start to get worse at it. Like I
Yeah.
don't even know. It's like, yeah, we're always, I feel like through this lifetime we're always trying to keep this like same thing of progression with whatever it may be until you die, But it's like what's our purpose here? And I guess it feels fulfilling to like grow and kind of put the pieces together
Mm-hmm.
of certain things in your mind for shit. So
Well, purpose and meaning is so weird too, because it's so subjective. Like human purpose and human meaning is all in the eye of the beholder. People make their own meaning and purpose, regardless if you find that your purpose is your family. You might think God's plan is your purpose. God puts you here for a purpose, but everybody is so subjective. But everybody wants meaning. You wouldn't live if people are suicidal a lot of the time because they find no meaning in life. Like life meaning comes from within, I feel like, and purpose comes from within. And without it, I feel like life is not worth living. It really isn't, because you need something to get you out of bed. Because I feel like if I don't have something that I'm really excited for, I don't want to there's not a reason to get up in the morning. If there's
yeah,
something that I can do and get better at and just keep like I had a moment where when I finished football, where I woke up the next day and I realized I'll never play football again, right? I realized it. I'm an adult now. I will never do it again. And I had a moment of not panic, but I had a moment of look at my life from transparency and be like, all right, you're never going to play football again. You're probably never going to be away from the sport forever, but you have all these other areas where you can dive into and get way better at. And not only that, you can be a beginner at something again. Not that I've mastered football, but I got as good as I fucking could within the time I
yeah,
had it. And so now I can do that with something else, whether it be being a lawyer or being anything. I can dive into something as good as I can dive into something and work as fucking hard as physically possible and get as best as I can. So I feel like the meaning lies within finding something that you want to fucking bust your ass for, whether it be your wife, your spouse, or the same thing, or like a job, or like a hobby, or finding something that you care so much about that you would risk your life to do it.
yeah, yeah. It's like my friend. Do you know Jacob?
I think I've met him. I think I met him at Eli's performance on
Yeah,
First.
he was like he would go up to come he came up to me one night and he was like, Blake, what's the why? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, the why, like why do you do it? Like, and I was like, it's a good ass question, but I mean, yeah, it is like a good question. Why do I do music, or like why? And it's like, yeah, I mean, it could be as simple as like I'm really good at it, so I'm just gonna like, keep doing it and it makes the bills and stuff. Or it could be deep as like, I have some feelings like inside that I want to let out and I hope they touch the world in a certain way. And that's the why.
Yeah, the
But
why is the why
what's the
is
why for you? What's the why for you?
you know It depends, bro. There's a lot of things that I want to do in this world that you have each in their own individual why. The reason I do this is because I get to talk to so many different type of people and learn and grow and smile and laugh and have great conversations and also people don't do this. People don't sit down for an hour plus and just have an open conversation with people. They don't do it. And so this makes me it made me a better person. Like I am not the person I was when I started this, and I'm so grateful that I did because it changed the way I think, it changed the way I act, it changed the way I speak. The reason I go to school is because I'm passionate about learning, and I also want to go to law school because I'm really passionate about law and things like that. And I want to, that might change between now and then, but I really like learning and getting better at things. And I think the ultimate why is why do I continue to wake up? I think that's the ultimate why. It's like, why do you keep living? I think the answer for me is that I'm so, regardless of the pain and the suffering and the sadness and the heartbreak that you withstand when you're living, I think there's an aspect of life that people don't, that that you just can't get. I mean, regardless of it, is like the best moments in my life have been better than the worst moments in my life, have been better than have exceeded all the things that I could have been paying in my life. And so I think that you have to endure the worst things so that you can embrace the best things. And if you don't, people run so far away from those hardships. But if you actually run towards them, you realize that right on the other side of the things you're most afraid of are the best things in life.
Well, literally, like, have you noticed that when good things happen, they like come in like waves, and then when bad things happen, they like also come in waves.
Yep.
So it's like one good thing's gonna happen, and then like a bunch of good things are gonna happen. I get scared when this happens because I'm like, oh fuck, I'm happy. This is dope. Something bad is about to happen. Like, I'm just waiting because I know it's like around the corner. Some shit's gonna pop up because it does. It always does. Doesn't matter how good you are. There's something bad always around the corner that you're gonna have to deal with. Some bullshit or some drama or some fucking business, whatever. Something that's gonna come around the corner that's just gonna bite you in the ass. But I feel like it's fucked up because it comes in waves, and then like you're like, oh, that hurt, and then while you're down, it's just gonna keep kicking you, and then
Yeah.
you're like, oh no, and then you just keep getting like kicked, and then you're like, but at the same time when you're getting kicked, you're like fuck, I'm getting kicked, but you know that you're about to get a bunch of good shit that's gonna happen next. So then it's like it's an even trade-off, but yeah, I feel you. I want to say that my best successes have trumped my lowest of lows, but I feel like I've had some pretty low lows. So like I have had some high highs for sure, but maybe it's just because my sights are aimed on even higher highs that it's like I'm waiting for those higher highs first to be like, oh, that's
Yeah.
what I went through that shit
I
for.
will say
So,
this, like it takes a lot for me to say that my best moments are better than my worst moments because you don't really sit and wallow or sit in your happiness. You just let it go away. Like you are happy and then it's gone. Or like sometimes you don't
because
even
something shitty happens, and you're
yeah,
like,
or not even that. Like you don't even think that you deserve it. Like the happiness. That's the worst. Is
right,
when you're happy and you got something and you're like, I don't even deserve this. But when the bad things
oh,
happen, you just sit here
oh
and you just
shit.
feel it because it's so easy. Maybe you'll throw on some juice. I feel so goddamn empty, and you just fucking feel it. You don't sit and feel your happiness. You just
because because the second you get something you want is when you realize you forget the worth of what you wanted, and
yeah,
like because you have it,
yep,
and that's like so true, and it sucks because yeah, you could be striving for some goal or something for the longest of time, and then you get it, and you don't know what the fuck to do because you've been like basing your whole life's purpose around this goal, and then once you get it, you're like, fuck, well, like I'm here now what?
yeah,
So it's like
yeah.
shit, yeah, and it's never like like yeah, okay, now you're on this level, you're chill, you like hit that, and then you just go back down to feeling the same, and you're just like, well fuck, I did that, and it's helping my like everything else, but I feel the same, you
Mhm.
know. And then it's like yeah, when you're depressed, it's like it's more of like you'll chill down there for a second, and then you like pop up, and then be like normal, and then you like chill down there in depression. It's like you don't just sit on your like happy moments and you're just like, I'm happy all damn day. Hey, like how's it going? Like, and then it's like
Nobody does that.
someone like fucking somebody like cuts you off, and you're just like, oh, that's okay. Like I'm just happy, happy, happy. Like,
I think that it's important to understand that, like, so like I feel like with that, I feel like a lot of it is because of the current climate of like how we're taught to exist. Like if you're not super successful, then you shouldn't be happy. Why are you happy? You're not the best. Like, why are you the happy? There's so many people that are better looking than you, smarter than you, happier than you. But also I feel like one of the reasons that I have never not been happy with the podcast is because I've never set a standard too high for myself that I know I can't fit, because I told myself from the beginning, this is not something I'm going to make a career out of. This is not something I want to put everything into. This is not something I want to blow up for. This is something that I'm doing because it's so fun, and it gives me this energy that I don't get anywhere else. And I told myself, as soon as it becomes me clout chasing, or as soon as it becomes me trying to be like blow up or trying to be bigger for it, I'm done. I don't want to do it because I don't want to get at that point where I'm not doing it because of the conversations and because of the engagement. I want to do it because it's fun, and I want to do it because it makes me a better person. I don't want to do it because I'm clout chasing. And I feel like if you, as anything you're doing creative, if you set a standard where whenever this becomes too much about the clout, regardless if you want to make it a career or not, if you say, when this becomes too much of a clout, I got to take a break, or I got to do something else because it's not fun. It's too high of standards. Like you said, even the richest people want to be more rich. It's never enough. You have to make it about the progress and the fun and in the moment. You can't make it about everything else.
yeah, no, definitely. I wish I had something to play off that with.
Let's go, bro. I think that's a good way to end it, man. We've been on here for about an hour and 10 minutes. So I think it's a good
all
way.
right, nice.
Yeah.
For
It was
sure.
a lot of fun talking to you, bro. Honestly, I had a great time. We had a great conversation.
Yeah, for sure. No, super good conversation. We got to
Yeah,
chop it up again soon, man.
definitely, bro. When I'm back for a longer period of time, we should do it in person because that's even more engaging.
Okay, yeah, I'm super with it.
Definitely, bro. Well, you have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. I'll let you know when it's out. I'll probably drop it on Friday. And thank you again for coming on, bro. It was a lot of fun.
All right, thank you for having me. Peace out,
See you,
everybody.
bro.